A couple of days later, I called and whoever was there didn't know who it was. And I'm thinking I missed it. About a week or two later, the same thing happened. I was leaving work, and just like God works. Those of you that got a relationship with God, you know this is how it works. Right? Can I get an amen? Does that happen to nobody else? Does that happen to nobody else? Or am I talking too much? But at any rate, yeah, it happened the same thing. I got in the car as a foreign language, I turned the channel, and the same lady was on the same show. Wow. And that's the first time I realized, I'm not being obedient. Duh. Amen. But we can count on El Elyon to be who he says he is and do what he says he's going to do. Amen. Our job is to choose what we believe. Do you not know that atheists choose not to believe? They got to choose too. That's right. And I don't know how you believe there is no something if there was something, was no something. How do you have a entity of something that doesn't exist? Personally, I don't get that, but that's what I believe. But we got to choose to believe. The more we make it a conscious choice, the better off we'll be. And we must learn how to recognize the presence of the Most High God in order that we take advantage of the blessing he has in store for us. Amen. And we need to be obedient the way he tells us. And if you're in a position where you don't know if you recognize the presence of God or not, here's what you do. Sit and think about what you know about God. You got to make the decision to believe he exists. Right. If you don't believe he exists, I got news for you. You're probably not going to see his presence. Good point. Amen? Amen. Believe he exists. Right. And just start looking for what you have heard God is. Loving, kind, he's thorough, he's protecting, he's delivering, he provides direction. And then you start antagonizing your thoughts. You look at the thoughts that's going through your head. Right. And you say, ooh, that girl, look at that girl. Ooh. Is that God? Well, that might be Canton. What's in your heart? What's in your heart? Or we see somebody that does something we don't like. And we say, she shouldn't be doing that. I'm going to give her a piece of my mind. That ain't God. Or we might even say, I ain't going to say nothing, but she going to know how I feel. We're actually sending dark spirit. Yep. We're sending dark spirit. Yes. In order to send dark spirit, you got to have dark spirit inside of you. So when we send dark spirit in folk, we really are hurting ourselves. We have sent the light of God that's in us. That's why we have to pray and ask God to remove our iniquities, replace it with your spirit, with your ways, and your purpose. But once you start looking and understanding who God is, the more you understand him, the more you're going to start hearing thoughts that you know is him. And when you see one that knows him, I advise you, write it down. I don't know anybody that hasn't had from 8 to 80, at least one experience in their life where something has happened or some thought has come and you say, that was God. You may be in denial about it, Or we may say, no, not on it. And if that hasn't happened to you, seeking, believing, it'll happen. And the more you're seeking, the more you believe in, the more it'll happen. And the more you're able to recognize His presence in you and in others. So yeah, write it down. Then after some period of time, go back and look at what you wrote down. Right. What you'll see is the pattern of God in your life. Right. You'll see the pattern of how God is relating to you. Amen. How He's speaking to you. How He's directing you. And how He's protecting you. Right. Amen. So if you have a trouble doing that, and then by all means, especially for our children, if you have a problem with it, ask your parents to show you. Now whether they can show you or not is really not the issue. Because see, here's what you need. When you get bullied at school and you can't handle it, and you start feeling worthless. You start feeling shame. You start feeling helpless. You start wanting to call out for your mama. And I don't mean that just for children. We're adults on these jobs. When we get bullied, it's the same thing. If we don't know how to handle it, it makes us feel worthless. It messes with our positive self-image. It causes us to try to spill darkness somewhere else. Because typically we're going to do it to the bully. If we could, we'd be around him. Or her. But we're going to spin that darkness somewhere else. More likely somebody we love. Maybe we realize it, maybe we don't. But when we get to a point that when we experience those bullies making us feel like that, call on L.L. Young, the Most High God. Yeah. Recognize His presence right there. Yeah. Believe that He'll do what He says He's going to do. Yeah. Believe that He is who He says He is. Yeah. And believe that He will protect you. Comfort you. Glorify your soul. Amen. Amen? Amen. Amen. So, with this week, the Most High God, that there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to answer His invitation to join Him. Amen. In a love relationship for eternity. Not just for this world. It's forever and ever and ever. Amen. Yet you believe. But put on the message line that this is your frame of mind. We have a staff of ministers here that will contact you and be whatever we can to you in that part of your walk. Amen. Amen. If you want to recommit, you've been walking with God, got away. Put down the message line. Give us a way to contact you. I'm more than glad to pray for you and with you. And if you want prayer, I would say the same thing. Because we're a loving church. And we seek the love of Jesus Christ to dwell inside of us. We're not a perfect church. But we have the perfection of Jesus Christ dwelling in us. As we learn more and more how to recognize Him, believe in Him, and be obedient to Him. Amen? Amen. 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 been such a glorious honor, fulfillment, pleasure this morning to work with God, work with me. I'm thrilled, can you tell? But in so doing, I would like to close out the service. Well wishes. So everybody